Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Nighthawk Tourbillon from astronicwatches.com. This watch is available from astronicwatches.com and they are also currently running a Kickstarter campaign, and I'm pleased to report that the Kickstarter campaign is already fully funded. So the Nighthawk Tourbillon is available in 5 different colour options, and it's also available in 2 versions, a leather strap version and a stainless steel bracelet version we're looking at here respectively. So the prices for the leather strap version are $1,169 and the price for the stainless steel bracelet version we're looking at here is $1,299. So firstly, let's look at the box that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the other items one gets with a piece. So the Nighthawk Tourbillon comes in a watch box which is protected by this white cardboard outer sleeve, as you can see. One removes the sleeve and this is the watch box itself. I think Astronic watches deserve full credit for coming up with an original watch design. I really like the futuristic case shape, and it makes a refreshing change from the default cuboid shape watch box we're all familiar with. So it's made from plastic, finished to a high standard, and as you can see on the top of the lid we have the Astronic watches brand emblem embossed, which is very aesthetically pleasing. There's also a removable tray for the warranty card and microfiber polishing cloth, which is innovative. One feature I like about the lid is it is magnetised, and it's got a nice firm magnetic attraction between the lid and the base. It snaps shut very well, and also like the use of stainless steel hardware, which adds to the quality feel. The interior of the lid is felt finish to a high standard, and the watch itself is protected by this foam panel which one removes. So as you can see in the base of the watch box, it is fully lined with foam with cutout shapes for the watch strap or bracelet and also the head of the piece. So this is the stealth version, and as I've discussed there are 5 different colour options to the Nighthawk Tourbillon, as well as one can purchase it on the leather strap or stainless steel bracelet. So in this tray we have the plastic warranty card, which I'll show you. On the reverse, the date of purchase is filled in with the reference number of the piece, and it's also signed. And I'm pleased to report that this Nighthawk Tourbillon is covered by a 2-year international warranty, which is very reassuring. One also gets a branded microfiber polishing cloth. As you can see, it's branded with Astronic, and I always think it's a nice touch to get a branded microfiber polishing cloth irrespective of the price point of a piece. And lastly, one also gets this Astronic branded tag. So very nice presentation, innovative watch box, and also it just gives a quality feel to the piece. So with the watch and the watch box, one also gets this welcome leaflet from Astronic, and on the reverse it has clear, concise pictures and also instructions on how to fit your strap or bracelet to the head of the piece. So it's very good that they've included these instructions which describe how to operate the quick release spring bars used in the bracelet and strap if you're unfamiliar with those. So with regards to the specification of the piece, this is the Nighthawk Tourbillon, and we're looking at the stainless steel bracelet version, which is $1,299. The case diameter is 44.5 millimeters. We have a lug to lug measurement of 52.8 millimeters. The thickness is 13.7 millimeters. And the internal lug width of the integrated bracelet is 22 millimeters. Externally, at the widest point, the bracelet is 25.7 millimeters, and it tapers down to the 2-button push deploying clasp, which is hidden, as you can see. Now, the 2-button push deploying clasp is finished to a very high standard. In the centre section, it is pelage finished, which is very nice, and either side it's signed with Astronic, as you can see. Good foam resistance to the 2-button push triggers, and I like the use of pelage finishing to the centre section, which adds to the quality feel of it. The crystal is sapphire crystal, and it has clear AR coating on the underside, and the AR coating is very effective in reducing the glare and the highly reflective nature of the dial and also the indices. With regards to the tourbillon, it's my favourite aspect of the piece, and if you look closely you can see the tourbillon running. So this tourbillon is an in-house 3D coaxial flying tourbillon, and I like either side of the tourbillon we have guilloche finishing to the bridges of the movement, which add interest to it. So the other thing I like about this piece is at the 12 o'clock position there is also a power indicator. So it's a manual wind tourbillon movement, and one can manually wind to top up the tourbillon to its maximum 42-hour power reserve. So as you can see, if you look closely at the power indicator at 12 o'clock, you'll see the power indicator move as I manually wind the tourbillon movement to top up the power reserve to its maximum 42 hours. It's got a nice firm resistance to the mainspring, and one can feel the tension building up as one winds it to its absolute maximum 42 hours. So push-pull crown, which provides an effective hermetic seal to 100 metres of water resistance. It's got a good grippy feel to it, and it does feel silky smooth. Pulling it out, it's got a nice positive click, and then one can set the time. The time setting position is very smooth, as you can see. It's an absolute pleasure to both manually wind it and also to set the time. Good positive click to the push-pull crown, which provides an effective hermetic seal to 100 metres, as I've discussed. So it's a hand winding movement, but it doesn't have hacking, and that's something to bear in mind. But it is absolutely beautiful to look at the tourbillon running. With regards to the case back, it's a screw down exhibition case back, as you can see, and it does a good job of displaying the decorated movement. So the movement is decorated with blued screws, and we also have milled stripes on the bridges, and as you can see, the milled stripes are just absolutely beautiful the way they catch the light. One thing I like about it is they have skeletonized around the tourbillon, so one can see through the mineral crystal in the center of the exhibition case back all the way through to the sapphire crystal in the front of the piece. So one can see through the tourbillon movement, and it's just absolutely beautiful to look at. I really like the quality of the finishing. The milled stripes on the bridge of the movement are done to a very high standard, and they're very eye-catching as they catch the light, as you can see. So it's a very well finished movement. The quality and the finishing level of the movement, including the decoration, is done to a very high standard. I also like the finishing of the screw down exhibition case back, which is very low profile. So it's surprisingly low profile at only 13.7mm thick. Usually tourbillon movements mean that the watch case has to be very thick in order to house the tourbillon. So I think Astronic watches deserve full credit for producing a tourbillon which is only 13.7mm thick. I like the lip of the sapphire crystal. As you can see, it projects above the bezel, and it really is absolutely beautiful to look at the movement and also the tourbillon running at the 6 o'clock position. So I'll give you a wrist shot and you can see how it fits on my 8-inch wrist. Now I haven't sized the bracelets, I've simply taken the watch out of the watch box, and I'm pleased to report it just fits my 8-inch wrist. But however, it is a tight fit, so that's something to bear in mind. I would say to you, it will fit you if you're a collector with a 6 to 7.5-inch wrist, no problem whatsoever. But if you're a collector with a larger wrist of 7 to 8 inches, you may need some additional links. But having said that, it is a very comfortable piece to wear, and it is relatively low profile despite being a large piece at 44.5mm. I like the shape of the case, which is angular, and I like the facets of the case, which are very eye-catching. It's got a nice angular profile to the lugs and a nice taper. So although it's a relatively wide piece at 44.5mm, they have got the lug width and the taper of the bracelet done to perfection. 22mm internal lug width is the correct lug width for a 44.5mm case, and also the taper, the widest point of the bracelet is 25.7, which does balance the 44.5mm head of the piece very well. So this piece has several aspects which are innovative. It's fully coated with an anti-fingerprint coating throughout, and I've actually tested this, and the anti-fingerprint coating does work very well. It is actually very difficult to try and put a fingerprint on the watch, so the anti-fingerprint coating is effective, and the other thing I like about it is it's solid 316L grade stainless steel throughout. Now as you can see, the watch, including the head of the piece, the bezel and the bracelet, are fully coated. They are grade AA IP PVD black plated, and the quality of the PVD coating throughout is absolutely flawless. It's done to a very high standard. So the grade AA IP black PVD coating is also very scratch resistant, so it's going to last for a good length of time. Nice detail to the bezel, which has a matte textured finish to it, and also black screws. So it's a futuristic looking piece, and I think it's innovative with the tourbillon and also the power indicator at the 12 o'clock position. The attention to detail is very good. If you look closely at the power indicator at 12 o'clock, you'll see the Astronic brand emblem is also integrated into it. So it's a very modern and futuristic design, and also the 2-button push to point clasp works very well, good firm resistance to the 2-button push triggers. So with regards to the specification of the movement used, this is an in-house 3D coaxial tourbillon. Now I like the flying tourbillon, and it is a credit to Astronic watches that they have made this tourbillon movement in-house. It has 19 joules and it runs at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it has a frequency of 3 Hz. 42-hour power reserve is perfectly acceptable, and it has hand winding but it doesn't have hacking, so that is something to bear in mind. So let's do a Lume test and we'll see how the Lume performs when it's charged up to its absolute maximum. So as always, I'm going to use my 100 UV LED torch to charge it up to its absolute peak. So this uses Swiss Tritech RC Lume, and this is the first time I've seen Swiss RC Tritech Lume, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs. Right, so that's now fully charged, and as you can see it has a very aesthetically pleasing green tone which looks very similar to C3 Superluminova. So although this is the first time I've seen Tritech RC Lume, I'm actually very impressed with it. The arrow style hands are glowing brightly and they're continuing to glow for a good length of time, and we also have applied Lume on the dot indices. Now the negative of having small dot indices is that doesn't allow for a great plot area for the Lume to be applied, but however this is acceptable and one can clearly read the time in low light conditions, so I think it's good. Right, so lastly I'll summarise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet 2 criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price point. So with regards to the price points, this is available in 2 versions as I've discussed. On the leather strap, the price is $1,169 US, and on the stainless steel bracelet it is $1,299 US. Yes, I consider it to be good quality, and yes, I consider it to be good value. I think that Astronic watches deserve credit for coming up with an original design. This isn't an homage to anything else. Every aspect of this watch, including the movement itself, is completely an original design. The quality of the finishing, the build quality and the quality control throughout are all done to a good standard. And it's nice that they're using some innovative features such as the anti-fingerprint coating, and also that the quality of the PVD coating is done to a high standard. It's grade AA IP black PVD plating. So it's interesting to see the finishing to the plating. That's something I haven't seen before, and I like to see brands experiment and do something different rather than just making homages. The attention to detail, including the crown being signed and anodized with a red ring, is just very interesting. So it is a futuristic looking piece, and also I like the fact it has a tourbillon, as you can see. With regards to the value, it really is very good to get a tourbillon with an in-house coaxial flying tourbillon movement at only $1,299 US, and I think Astronic watches as a microband deserve full credit for that. So I'm going to highly recommend it to you for your consideration. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.